Good Sunday evening, everybody. Hope you all are having a great day. Let's see who we got in here. Hey Chase, how you doing? Miss Lisa Ann, how you doing, dear? Thank you for stopping in. Stefan, thank you for stopping in. I don't know how big of a gathering we're going to have the evening since the big game is on. If not, we'll just have a little short chat and let you all get some sleep. So, hey Ken, how was your trip, Ken? So, but just cleaning up the computer. All right. Hey, we got Daryl. Hi, Daryl. Hi, Daryl.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now. Hey, Tommy.
Hey, Tommy.
So how was your weekend, Daryl?
Cold. That's
Yeah,
about it. Cold.
Yeah, mine was rather cold too. Thursday I wasn't fit. Go ahead.
Friday was it's tried to snow again. Luckily, it just blowed off. So
yeah, we got snow Friday, but Thursday I wasn't feeling well, so I called off work. And then Friday, same. I wasn't feeling well again.
So Ed called off work. Holy smacks!
Yeah. And then
I didn't think that place would run without you.
I don't know if it did or not. It may have. But hi, Uncle Mark. And Saturday it was just really, really cold. Furnace is acting up again. I actually went online and found a run capacitor for it, thinking that might help it. And can you believe that the big box stores around me don't have them? I had to go to a little hardware store next town over, get one, brought it home, installed it. And I don't know if it was because the outside temperature come up or what, but it ran all day Saturday beautifully, kept the house nice and warm. Went to bed Saturday night, woke up Sunday morning. It was 55 degrees in here. So I turned the space heaters on, went downstairs, and it's just humming. So I messed around with a little bit, got it going, and it would run about 2 heat cycles, and then it would start humming again. So I'd have to shut it off and let it, I guess, let the motor cool down or whatever. And then it would run, and then it wouldn't, and it would. So all day I've had space heaters on in the house just to try to keep it up, 65, 70 degrees. And it's been kind of running on and off. So I guess tomorrow morning or tomorrow sometime, probably after work, I'm going to try to grab a motor because the HVAC guys at work found me one. A replacement one because they don't sell the one that is for that. It's discontinued, but they found one that's the same size and everything, and it'll work. So I guess I'll get that tomorrow night after work, and hopefully get it installed and quit having heating issues. I'm tired of waking up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, freezing to death, being 50, 55 in the house.
I heard that.
Can't really afford the motor, but can't afford to freeze to death either. So just have to put off some other stuff and Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, Ed, regardless of whether it hurts your pocketbook or not.
Yeah. Well, I get paid Friday, so hopefully I can skeet through till then without having anything, without overdrawing an account or whatever. Yes, Tommy, it is a squirrel cage blower motor, and the cap, or the run capacitor or whatever you want to call it, it was perfectly fine. I took the old one out, put the new one in. It fired right up and ran. Didn't even make no noise or anything. I think it has something to do with when the temperature outside, for some reason, my furnace draws air in from outside to burn. So I think it has something to do with when the outside temperature gets cold enough, the bushings or whatever must be going bad enough that they get stiff, and it just don't have enough to start it and run it. So, yeah, like I said, it sucks, but it is what it is. Yesterday, I'm sorry to hear that, Stefan. But so yeah, luckily I went to the store Saturday morning after I got the furnace going, kinda, because today there'd been no way I would have went to the store because I don't like leaving the space heaters running, and it was -9 this morning, so it didn't get up into the teens until 10 or 11 o'clock, and seems like after it gets up into the teens, it does okay, but you know.
That's cold. I mean, we're actually supposed to get up in the 50s this week. Hopefully, we can get rid of some of this lingering crud that we got all over the ground out here.
Yeah, I think Tuesday they said it's supposed to be in the 40s, and then up above 30s the next couple of days after that. Tomorrow it's going to be in the teens, 20s. But I mean, if it was warm out, like if it was summertime and I was just running the AC, I could pull that motor out, take it to my local electric motor repair place, and I'm sure they could put new bushings in it or get me a replacement. But it would take 2 or 3 days probably, and I can't go without a furnace for 2 or 3 days. There's no way. So I was half tempted to go grab my torpedo heater and put it down in the basement, but and let it run to keep the basement warm, to keep the motor warm, to keep it running. But yeah, I don't think I could handle taking it down the steps by myself. So yeah, bearings are number one. Yep, bearings are.
Yep.
So, but last week the HVAC guy told me that they're super easy to change. There's just 2 screws that hold it in, and that thing just slides right out of the bottom of the furnace. He even offered to come over and do it for me, but if it's just 2 screws and it slides out, and I can take it upstairs and not have to work in that cold basement, I think I could do it. Yeah, my furnace was put in 2010 when I bought the house, and yeah, it even says in the manual, do not attempt to oil or lubricate. It may damage motor. So, hey, Renegade, how you doing, bud? So yeah. it's just been a rough weekend. I had plans on doing well before wasn't feeling well. I had plans on getting more stuff done on the giveaway tractor, but yeah, I won't even go out to the garage and leave my space heaters and stuff going. It's natural gas, Tommy. So it's a natural gas furnace. So, but yeah, hopefully by this time tomorrow night, we'll have that motor replaced. And I did watch a couple videos on it too. Yeah, I'm hoping that the squirrel cage part comes off fairly easy. I'll definitely, if I can get it slid out, like they say, I'll probably most definitely just take it out to the garage and tear it apart and get everything new put on. Yeah, that's what our HVAC guy said, Willie. He said you got to use the right stuff. If not, it won't work right. So he said it'll just make it worse. But I mean, I can't believe that neither Lowe's or Home Depot stocked. They stocked a bunch of other capacitors, but they didn't stock that one.
I've got to the point where I think Lowe's and Home Depot, if it ain't something they sell, they don't even try to stock any parts for them anymore. It's not they're not nearly as good as they used to be. I mean, luckily we got a little electrical supply place there in town, but I mean, I don't know. It's just,
hey, Roadrunner. Yeah, I mean, Roadrunner, it should be fairly easy. I mean, I looked at it when I was doing the capacitor, and I can get right to the two screws. I actually put a socket on one to make sure that they're going to come loose, and it looks like I can just unplug a couple plugs, and of course take some pictures. But take a couple pictures. I undo a couple screws, slide it out, take it out to the shop, get it tore apart, put it back together, get it back down there, slide it in, and the only thing is with the new capacitor, I couldn't get to the screw. When they put the screw in the new capacitor, or the old original capacitor, it goes in at an angle like this, and there's a flat shelf where the blower motor slides in. I couldn't get a stubby screwdriver. I couldn't get nothing on it to get it to screw out. So I just unplugged it and plugged it into the new capacitor, and kind of cinched the new capacitor with a zip tie to the wires that was there. And yeah. So, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm getting over all this stuff. It seems like everything's falling apart. My TV quit working this afternoon too.
Nope.
I did go out and grab the one out of the garage, Joe.
We had one of those go out about 6 months ago.
Yep. Yeah, Renegade. I looked at supplyhouse.com. they wanted $35, I think, for the capacitor, but they couldn't have it to me until I looked Saturday morning when I was looking for one local. They kept popping up, so I wanted to see, how long shipping would be on it, and they couldn't guarantee shipping until Friday of this coming week. So,
Holy cow! It'd be by the time you got it in, you wouldn't. You might not even need it then. Need to
I
heat
thought
more.
I'd probably be frozen solid. Hey, Mr. Briggs.
Hey, Briggs.
I can't complain about the TV I had. It was a Samsung. It was given to me by a friend, brand new. I had done some work for them, and they bought me this TV because they said they were tired of me having to watch a little small one. But and I've had it now for about 6 years, probably. So
The last couple of capacitors I bought, Renegade, they were in the 30s. I mean, had to put two new ones on. I put one on my air compressor, and then I had to put one on my heat pump out here. At about $35 a piece.
yeah, I found it at that little hardware store for $10. So, but I mean, even Lowe's, if I ordered it through Lowe's, they couldn't have it to me till Wednesday. But when I looked at it, when it popped up online, like when you're looking for shopping stuff, it says in stock. But when you click on my local Lowe's store, they could have it by Wednesday. So I looked to see if there's any closer. Yeah, the closest one was like an hour away. And it was still $10. So, yeah. Yeah, Tommy, I am glad I'm capable of fixing it myself. And I'm not crying about it. I mean, don't hope you guys aren't taking it that way. I just, just seems like here lately, a bunch of different things have been piling up. So,
Well, when it rains, it pours. So one thing
Mr.
goes
Britt,
wrong, it seems like you get it keeps going up, going wrong for a while.
yeah, but yeah, like I said, as long as this thing stays running long enough to keep the house between 65 and 70 for at least till tomorrow night, I'll be happy. Yep, shit happens. Exactly, Lisa. Yeah, I usually don't like venting my personal stuff, but it's just been a lot this week.
Yeah. Well, I have made my determination. Once all this stuff settles down, and maybe this spring, I'm gonna start saving my nickels and pennies and quarters and all that stuff. I'm gonna get me a blade to go for this year, uh, snowplow blade to go on this Polaris I got out here. But I don't know. Is I've been watching videos on them things. Some say that the poly ones hold up better than the metal ones. I don't see that happening. Ed. What do you think?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, my brother had a plow on his 4-wheeler, and I mean, it worked great. He's got a plow on his side by side, and it works great. Um, I've got a plow on my Cub Cadet. It works great when the clutch works. You know,
I just got the
Hey, y'all, brace yourselves.
Uh-oh.
Holy
Hi, Jeff.
smoke! What'd you find?
He's done. Y'all done drug him out the junkyard. Look at her. How you doing, Jeff?
Oh, it's another day. It's a little bit chilly out there.
You been plowing again?
No, that was 2 weeks ago.
Uh,
But believe it or not, they're still out here messing around with the snow, though.
well, at least
Yeah, they're Mr.
yeah, I see that. He's well, at least you're at least you're staying out the hospital a little bit longer now, Jeff. Your girlfriend must have left the hospital. She must have went to work somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a year and almost 2 months now.
She's probably missing you.
Yeah,
I don't know. I went to the foot doctor the other day. He's happy. It's
Good.
another two visits, maybe 3 at the most, and I should be done with that.
Well, good. Good. Glad to hear it's healing up good.
Yeah, someday. Now for the next part, the expensive part is to get a shoe made for that foot.
Yeah. On those plows, Daryl, the only thing I can tell you is if you're going to be plowing a lot of gravel, put a pipe on the bottom of it.
yeah,
Like two or 2.5 inch.
Yeah.
I've had one on my plow for years. My brother put one on his side by side this year, and it worked great.
Yeah, I was pretty much gonna plan on it, but we got doggone when the state plows the road out here. Hey, Big John.
All right, John.
But when the state plows the road, they roll up their balls of snow right in front of my driveway and in front of the mailbox, in front of everything. So
yeah, I heard the plow truck going down the road yesterday morning, and he was actually going nice and slow. Instead of throwing it all way back up against the houses and way out in the yards, he was widening the road and taking the drifts out. And he was going nice and slow, just rolling it back. So, because when I went to the grocery store yesterday morning, a couple of the side roads that I take were down to less than one lane because of the drifts. But then on the way back, you could tell they'd been through and knocked them mostly back. They didn't get all the way to the edge of the road, but I think they were just trying to get the roads passable for two vehicles.
Oh, we got the town here just up the road from me. They've got the main road going through the center of town. They don't have a drop of snow on it. The sidewalks, the street, nothing. It looks like the middle of summer. And then when you look up every side street, they're like little 1-lane roads to drive up each one.
yeah. Well, John, down there where you live at, you probably was about like it used to be when I lived in South Carolina. You get when it was in South Carolina, all you had was two Mexicans standing on the back of a pickup truck throwing sand out. That was snow removal down there, but I think they actually got a few snowplows now.
Hey, do you guys got all newer plows, or do you got any of the older ones still?
All of our Blizzard plows are, let's see here, 2028 or 2008s, okay? and older. And then we just bought one that's brand new for our 2025 Ram. So
Oh, I got yelled at for breaking the one on the
Yeah.
2025 F600,
Everybody
which
seen
turns
me
out when they put it together at the dealer, they didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know what it looks like, the breaker that goes to the plow or whatever. But mechanic, when he fixed it, and I was there the other day, is like, I'm really surprised that truck didn't just catch up fire on you on the middle of the road, because there was nothing but melted shit and arcing and sparking all underneath of that before it finally come apart.
yeah, our all of our plows were professionally installed. We didn't install them. They did a really good job on them. The new one that's getting put on now, they called me Wednesday because I took it over, I think, Tuesday. I think I dropped it off Tuesday. They called me Wednesday. They were getting it mounted up, getting ready to wire it, and there's a spec sheet. I went online and inspected out, and then they quoted me on that spec sheet. There's a wiring harness that the company, their SnowX, there's a wiring harness that SnowX says you need for that truck, and they're like, yeah, there's no. It's like a 4-foot wiring harness. There's plugs on each end, but the plugs don't mount up or match up to anything that's with the plow. So they're gonna call their SnowX rep and find out why they said they needed that for that truck. Because it says right in the thing, it's 2025 Dodge Ram or Ram 2500 wiring adapter or something like that. Like you said, they can't. It's like a 4-foot long chunk of wire. It's got 2 plugs on it, and they can't. There's no. They thought maybe it was for the headlights or something like that. No, it doesn't. It won't plug into the headlights. It won't plug into anything that is with the rest of the plow. The plugs are totally different.
Yeah, quit.
That's what this is, one of them brand new, the 10-foot Westerns for like that. They're made for like the F600 Ford. This came right from a Western dealer that's up here by me. He's been doing it forever.
Yeah, this is the one with the power wings on it. So it goes from like 8'6" or something like that, or 9 foot to 11.5 feet wide. And the ends will scoop in to make a scoop or stay out straight for extra width. They're really nice plows. We've been running them for years.
I like this plow. It's just a straight 10-footer.
Yeah.
It's amazing. This thing scrapes the road just as good as like the regular big road plows. The only thing I don't like about it is you catch like I got 2 manholes on my route that I have to slow down to just about a dead stop when I get to them, because the plow doesn't fold over. When it hits him, it just snaps the whole front of the truck right off the ground.
Yeah. We've got a couple manholes like that on campus. They're supposed to have put asphalt patch around them, but I see one of our plows that plow that lot. He's got a broken cutting edge right now because of that. And about once a year he gets it until he remembers where it's at. So,
well, this here, it's like you know how you get like a stretch of like the real hard packed stuff when it starts peeling up and it'll fold the plow over. This thing doesn't fold over. It'll just about stop the truck dead in the middle of the road. It's like you got to really lay into it to keep moving. And I'm watching. It's like, I can't believe this thing. These springs can't be that heavy that it will not even fold over.
Yeah, I've seen our guys fold one of those blades over once, but they were trying to move piles, and there was about 6 or 8 inches of ice on the very bottom. And the guy that was doing it, he was moving faster than what he should have when he was trying to move a pile, and it hit and went bong bong. He hit windshield. I'm like, yeah, you should have been wearing your seatbelt. Yeah.
We went to
So,
we actually went to our Walmart is in Dublin, so yeah, we was over there. We was there. I mean, I mentioned Dublin because Tommy's in here, but I mean, it was 30. When it first started snowing, it was 35 degrees. They hadn't salted the parking lot or nothing. I mean, and we was there probably a little over an hour waiting to get groceries, pick up our groceries. We got there early. I wanted to try to beat the snow, but we got there a little bit early before our appointment time, and so it started. It was probably 1.5 inches on the ground Friday because they didn't even try. They waited till it got down. I said, "There's the problem with what y'all got going on around here is you don't salt it. I mean, it was wet because it drizzled. It rained first, so in other words, the salt would have had plenty of time to activate, and it ended up being just a mess just trying to get out of the parking lot."
yeah, that's what we were running into at work last week. Is it didn't get above freezing, but it was enough that the sun would melt a little bit of the snow, and then it would just kind of like melt a little bit across the sidewalks. And they were out putting salt down just about every day last week. So,
well, I mean, the main roads around here is good. Just those side roads up here and all that stuff. They still ain't much to. They still got too much junk on them, but hopefully Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I hope some of it melt out of here. So
Here's a question for you, Ed. I don't know them little Steiner tractors. You know them, don't you?
we run the Ventrex. It's basically the same unit. Yeah.
Yeah. Do the Steiners? I don't remember if they did or not, but somebody told me they have a high and low range in the front and the back.
Ours are. It's one lever. You flip the lever from high to low, and it takes the whole unit from high to down into low, and
that's kind of what I remember. But he picked up one. It was a beautiful little machine, and I don't know how he did it, but I didn't even look at it really. I know it's sitting up on blocks, and I guess he took it home and somehow he blew the back drive right out of it. And they said, oh, he had the back and high and the low and or the front and low or something like that. And I said to myself, I don't remember him having that.
I've never worked on a Steiner, but it doesn't surprise me. Like the original ones would have a high and low on each transaxle.
I can't remember that because I remember the guy I was working for back in when we had that big snow in like 96.
Mm-hmm.
He had them Steiners, and I can remember them guys in the apartment complex I was running the loader in. Them guys just blowing over the banks and through the courtyards and stuff, going from like place to place doing the sidewalks with them things. It's like they were unstoppable.
Yeah, we've got the rotary brooms, the brushes for them. We've got two V plows they'll straight and then they'll cup, like for cupping snow. And then we've got two big snow blowers for them. We've got three different tractors, but we've only got the snow blade and the blower can go on two different ones. And they are basically unstoppable. When the snow gets too deep for the snow brush, which, I mean, I've seen them things go through 8 inches of snow, light snow, fluffy snow, like it wasn't even laying there. And then when it gets too deep for them, they'll put the blowers on and they'll go and actually widen the sidewalks like a half a width wide on each side, and then clean up afterwards. They take the plows out, and they'll push that snow 10 feet back off the side to the sidewalk to get the big berms back out of the way. The bad part about the snow blowers is if you pick up a pop can or a bottle or a rock or anything, it'll throw it 30. It'll go 30, 40 feet.
That's what my brother said. He's got a Ventrax, or a couple of them that he bought because he works for the county over here there, and they use them for like the sidewalks on the bridges and stuff. Because it used to take him like a couple of weeks to go around and shovel them by hand. He's like, we do it in 2 days now. We do every bridge in the county, just blow it right out. He says it's amazing. These things blow snow probably about 50, 60 feet without even trying.
Oh yeah. Well, the one of the two snow blowers, we actually made an adapter on the chute that it'll actually point, because they'll only go down so far.
Yeah.
I made an adapter so it'll shoot it like 3 feet off the sidewalk.
Yeah.
They turn it directly sideways or just about 90 degrees sideways, and they'll go along and it'll dump it like 3 or 4 feet off the side instead of shooting it way out. Because when we first got them, the one guy picked up a frozen, about half full pop can.
Ooh.
And he heard it. He didn't see it, but he heard it go through and looked out to see what the heck was making the noise. And he said it went 50, 60 feet, and the chute was down as low as it would go. And so then they're like, yeah, we need to figure out some way to, so now that one has the adapter on it. I need to make one for the other one too. They won't stand up as high, so they won't shoot it out as far.
Yeah.
But you can shoot it lower, closer to it. So.
Well, he picked up I seen when I was here Friday to get paid for that snow. He picked up a 2020. I think it's a 4200 Ventrax that it's got the plow, the little spreader thing that goes on the back, the broom in the blower. And they were sitting there, they had it inside, they were messing with it, trying to figure out what does what and stuff.
Is it gas or diesel?
Gas.
See, we've got one gas one, and nobody likes running it. It was the very first one we bought. They for what we do with them, they're underpowered for doing heavy snow and stuff with the brooms and stuff on them. The guy that runs it normally, he says something about it a lot. And the other, if it's I think it's a Briggs and Stratton on it. Either Briggs and Stratton or Kawasaki. Big, like 30 horse or something like that. I can't remember right offhand. If it's the fuel injected one, make sure that you run dry gas or gas that don't have any water in it. Our very first snow season, I think it had the water in it when we bought it. Had bad fuel in it or something. When it got down to the single digits and the guy was out blowing snow, it would just shut off. Boom, just boom, shut off. No, no struggle, no, didn't die down. But he said it'd stop for a second and he'd hit the key and fire right back up, and down the sidewalk he'd go. And I even called Ventrek and everything else and did whole tons of research and everything else. And the only thing, and it would only do it when it got down into the single digits. The only thing that Ventrek and them could come up with is that there's some water in the fuel and it was freezing the fuel injector off. It was moving so much fuel, it wasn't warm enough. It would just get a little ice crystal or whatever in it, and shut it off for a second, but as soon as it shut off, it connected and unfroze and then just took off again. So we put dry gas in that tank of fuel that was in it, and knock on wood, never had any issues with it since. So
Fuel injector wouldn't have a choke, would it?
no,
Mm-mm.
no.
Okay, this was not fuel injected then, because I know it's got a choke. And this thing, I was
Yeah.
watching them, and as many times they started and they're having it running, and for like 5-10 minutes while they're messing with it, it seemed like you shut it off, go start again, you had to pull the choke out, or it just sit there and crank. It wouldn't do nothing unless the choke was out.
Yeah, that might just be the the engine itself. Maybe the carburetor needs a little adjustment on it or something, but hard saying without,
Well, when it comes to
being
that
there.
stuff, I figured out I don't even get involved. I don't say anything. I just watch at it and say to myself, yep, a bunch of circus clowns working on it, because everybody considers me like the village idiot. I don't know anything when it comes to the snow stuff.
Let's see, Willie. What did Willie say here? Okay. Yeah, Willie, the way these things are set up, if you throttle down to get the distance down on the thrower, the machine runs out of power because everything runs off the drives and everything else. It's all hydrostatic. So when they're trying to cut through 2.5 or 3 feet of snow drift, snowbank, they tried throttling them down. They just lose power. So they just keep them wound up and just keep moving slow and just try to keep it pointed in a direction that's not going to hurt anything. So, but I'm fairly impressed with the Ventrex. Everybody says they're really warm cabs, even though because they articulate, so the front panels below the windshield are like corrugated, like an accordion, and there's gaps at the bottom. And the guys say that their feet don't get cold in them. I've never ran one in the snow, so I don't know if that's true or not. I'm still hanging on to my old Toro where my feet do get cold, but the rest of me stays fairly warm. So we'll just have to wait and see when it comes time to replace my Toro. Hopefully I'll be retiring by then, and can move up into a plow truck or something. I won't have to run a snow brush no more, but but they do have plans on buying one more of them Ventrex this summer. I think they'll put the order in the spring or early summer. Use up some of our budget money before July 1st. That's probably what they're going to wait for, is wait to see how much budget money we have left this year and use some budget money from this year and next year, because they're fully outfitted. They're right around $40,000.
Holy cow.
Well, we get the unit, we get the cab, we get a snow brush, and they're talking about buying another either snow blower or plow. So,
well, you can also put a finishing mower on it too, can't you? On the Ventrex?
Yeah. That's we do have one mower deck for it. We have one mower deck, and then we also have a core aerifier that goes on them. Of course,
I know the state here, they got like 3 or 4 of them at the yard over here by me. And you see them once in a great while. You'll see them come out during the summer. They got these big, huge mower decks on them, but I have yet to ever see one come off the trailer. It's like they'll come down. The Ventrex is always on the front of the trailer, and other mowers are behind it, and you never see the Ventrex come off the trailer. It's like, why wouldn't you use that?
Yeah, well, they're nice. They do a really nice job. The first year, the second summer we had them. Uh, they were trying to go behind my back. They were going to pull the cab off one of them and put the mower deck on so they could use it as a mower. And I went to my boss and said, absolutely not. We are not pulling a cab off them. We used to pull the cabs off our Toros, and that's why the cabs don't fit right anymore. They just get beat up and they get tore up. If they want to use it as a mower, they use it with the cab on. I'll take the windows out of it or whatever they want, but we're not pulling cabs. It's just it's too. Hey, quick wrench. It's too hard on the cabs to take them on and off and on and off, on and off. Things get beat, things get smashed around and tweaked. And,
oh yeah, next thing you know, after doing that about 6 or 7 times, nothing fits right, and then it takes you 3 times longer to put it back together.
Well, like on our Toros, the biggest thing was all the seals that seal it to the traction unit. They don't work right. They get tore up, and because they'll, like, over the winter, they'll get stuck to the tractor.
Yeah.
And if the people pulling them off don't break them loose, they either get ripped off or ripped or torn, and so yeah, it's just the very last summer I can remember that we used the Toros with mower decks on them. We just pulled the two side door windows off, and they mowed with them all summer long because my boss said, they're getting too beat up with taking the cabs on and off. So they weren't real happy about it, but that's also when they started that summer is when they started buying their zero turns. So
I had the old i8 was out yesterday for a quick run.
Really?
As cold as it was, I couldn't believe it. Once I couldn't get it started the first time because the choke cable, I couldn't even pull the choke out. I got it working, start right up. Went to Tractor Supply, come back. By the time I got back home, this thing was covered with salt dust from yesterday morning.
Oh, yeah. That's the other thing, too, on our vent tracks. We got drop salt spreaders on the back of them.
Yeah.
So
they're like little electric things. You can set them for whatever speed.
Yep.
That's what these guys are sitting there looking at it. I said, oh, that's kind of like a self-powered one of them old e-pokey things that you used to pull behind the truck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these they got those on the very first ones, and they really like them. I don't care for there's a control box on them that's on the side of the salt spreader, and it's a sealed box, but it's where the drive motor for the auger's at. Well, they don't seal up very well from the salt, and the salt comes in the end of the shaft and drops in the bottom of that box and lays there. And then it's the rheostat set up for how fast that auger and stuff goes.
Yeah.
Well, the very first one, after like 2 years of using it, it quit working. So I tore into it, and that box is like half full of salt, just rock hard. It rotted all the wires off. It actually got into that control unit. That control unit's almost $300. So I cut a hole in the bottom of it, and I cut a hole in the back of it so they can take a water hose and shoot in. When I made the new connections and put the new unit and everything in it, I sealed all the connections up really well, greased them up real good. I've got some spray stuff that it goes on real liquidy, but it tacks up and like gets, I don't want to say hard, but it coats really well. I put like 4 coats of that stuff on it, and knock on wood, we haven't had any problem with those yet, because the new one we got, when we first got it, first thing I did, cut a hole in the bottom of it, cut a hole in the back of it so they can wash it out. And then our third one we got, I didn't get it done before they took it out and used it, because we got it like right before snow season. But I do pull the cover off of it and clean it all out. But one of them, well, the original, I think it's the original one. there's a plug, big plug, plugs together to take it on and off the unit. We had to eliminate that. There's only 4 wires that you need, but that plug got corrosion in it, and it actually ate a wire off up inside the plug, and it's a molded plug. You can't even take it apart and fix it. Hey, Dwight.
Hey, Dwight.
So to get it going, and the wiring harness for them, because you'd have to buy both ends. The wiring harness for it's like $400. So we just said, heck with it. We cut the end of the plug off coming from the tractor, fed it down into that box, and made direct connections to it. And so when the spring, when they go to that one may not come off. It may stay, because usually we don't use them in the summer. We only use one of them. That one may just stay on permanently. And then the other ones, when we take them apart, the one we take the salt spreader off of, we'll definitely make sure that we grease those connections and stuff up real well. Oh, I'm sorry. We got 2 Buffalo blowers too, the big turbine blowers. So we'll take snow brushes off 2 of them and salt spreaders off 2 of them for the fall, spring and fall. But even those turbine blowers move a lot of snow. If it's a real light snow,
Yeah.
them things are pretty wicked. When they were trying to sell it to us, they brought one on a different unit, same unit as we had, but it wasn't on one of ours. And the first thing the salesman did is out in the asphalt parking lot, he laid a concrete block on its side, pulled up next to it, turned the fan on, cranked it all the way up, and it slid that concrete block about 2 foot.
Holy shit.
I'm like, I'm impressed.
Yeah, right?
Well, if they turn that thing sideways, if you're like standing beside of it and they turn it sideways and crank it up, you lose your footing.
Well, that'll definitely blow some leaves, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what they offer. I don't know if they still offer them, but they used to offer 2 different ones. They used to offer the Buffalo, because it was made by Buffalo Blower, and it was just adapted to the Ventrek. And then they had the Ventrek blower, which looked like a big squirrel cage with a chute on it that you could rotate and stuff. It wasn't half as strong as what that Buffalo blower was. So, but the only thing I don't like about the Buffalo blower, and it's probably the way we're using them. They got a single caster wheel out front, and they like to dig in the dirt. And if they get dug in the dirt and they turn, they bend that caster. So, we try to get the guys to set it down and then pick it back up just a hair, just so that wheel, just so you don't tip forward when you're
Just barely touching.
Yep.
You know what I see on Marketplace? I've been watching for a while, and I really wish I had the money to buy. It's a 1969, an old 4-wheel drive truck with a snowblower set up on it.
Oh,
This thing, he's got pictures of it. Front, back, inside, outside, underneath and stuff. It's a 1969 truck. It looks like brand new still.
that's impressive for a snow vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's right out here in Pennsylvania. It's almost out. It's not even out as far as Lancaster. It's right out off 78 little ways. I look at it, it's like, if I had something like the white Ford still, I would love to go out there if I had the money to buy it and just go check this thing out and see if it's really like the pictures he shows. I said, even though it's an old snowblower truck, I said, something like that, you get another one of these snows like we had, you put that right out there.
Well, somebody sent me, I forget who it was now, sent me a short video of somebody that had a rototiller on the front of. They made a rototiller attachment for the front of their zero turn. And hey, low lids.
Well,
And it was like a walk behind that they just took the handlebar off and made a arm that goes out and a lift mechanism to lift it up and down, which I mean it works. But then of course, you know, you start getting other videos that are similar to that. But they somebody had a 48-inch snowblower on the front of a zero turn. Okay, you know, if the guy that was using it he had about as much snow on him as what was on the ground. But I mean, and same thing, they just made a couple brackets that come off the front of the zero turn and he had a hand lift mechanism, you know, 'cause it still had its own engine and stuff. But I think I would put some kind of a windscreen or something up to block that snow blowing back on me. But you know,
I've seen a couple pictures of them. These guys putting plow setups on them zero turns and stuff, and I just can't see that working out with a zero turn.
well, the thing who was it? Xmark and somebody else actually has a snow plow attachment for their zero turns. You drop the deck off and put that thing on. All the weight's on the back tires. So if you put a set of chains on, I imagine it would work pretty good. But again, I don't want to be out in the weather. So
No.
And years ago, when we were looking at Ventrex and looking at zero turns and stuff like that, I don't know if Toro still makes it or not, but they made a zero turn that you could convert into a tracked snow brush. It had a cab that went on it. It had tracks and it had a setup system. You take the caster wheels off and put straight wheels on the front, and there was a set of tracks, special wheels and tracks that went on this thing, and it would become a tracked snow brush.
I know what it's.
When they were trying to sell it to us and they brought it up, it already had the tracks and stuff on it. And the salesman was saying, "Oh yeah, you know, these things are great. It only takes 2 engineers 2 hours to convert it over." And I'm like, So 2 guys that made the thing, designed the thing, it takes them 2 hours to make the changeover.
How long is it going to take me by myself?
Well, you know, how many hours will it take 2 of us that's never done it before, you know, to do it? So
Yeah, but you got to think about it now, Ed. You're talking about engineers actually doing work. I mean, do you worked on those cars? Do you think engineers actually work on the cars?
that's the thing, you know, they engineer, they know where all the bolts go, they know how everything's supposed to line up, they know how, you know. So yeah, it shouldn't take them very long to put it on, you know. But again, that's one of them things where you take the cab on, because you can't run the cab as a zero turn. It's too heavy. That's why it has the tracks. So how beat up is that cab gonna get taking it on and off every year? And that was my problem with the Toros that we used to use for snow blowers in the winter, or snow brushes in the winter and mowers in the summer. They never get a break. They were never designed. Those tractors were never meant to be year-round vehicles or use. The snow brushes and snow cabs were an afterthought. Like a few years after they had it, they wanted to get into that market, so they designed cabs and snow brushes to fit onto that unit. So, I mean, it's I don't like year-round use equipment like that, you know, unless it's designed specifically for, like the Ventrex. They were designed to be year-round use vehicles. So even though we only use them, you know, wintertime, they are, you know, all those attachments and stuff and cabs and all that stuff were designed with that in mind, when that unit was made. So
That's what I'd like to do with the old Power King one of these days. I'd like to find a nice 48-inch snow blower and set it up so I could put it on in front of that regular 2-stage setup, because that single stage Power King made, it just doesn't do it.
Yeah. Well, I thought about seeing if I could find a snowblower for my snowblower or a snow blade for my 3200 series Cub. But then again, I don't want a year-round use vehicle like that. My 108 does a great job plowing snow when the clutch isn't stuck, which in the springtime, we'll get that thing over into the shop and get that clutch freed up and get it working again so I can plow snow next year. But yeah. So
Oh, well.
All right, y'all. It's been an hour, so
Yep. See you next week.
appreciate y'all hanging out with me and taking my mind off all this. Bye, Jeff.
He did
taking
say
my mind
goodbye
off.
this time.
Yeah, he did. Taking my mind off everything that's going on, and hopefully, we're in better spirits next week. So, love y'all, and we'll catch y'all next week. Thanks.
Later.